all the F1 action is about to get back underway. So again, I have to continue picking Nate Saunders' brain. And now I want to know, Nate, what movements you're expecting come next year, 2020. And of course, there's been, a lot of talk about certain teammates and who will pair a certain Lewis Hamilton. We'll get to that in a bit. But just overall, who are you expecting to move and where?
Well, it's been a pretty interesting time right now because everything really hinges around Valtteri Bottas, Esteban Ocon, which one of those guys gets that Mercedes seat, because it trickles down, funnels down, lower down what they're going to do.
And in your preseason predictions, you said you didn't pick him to get his Mercedes seat come next
year. For Bottas? No, I've always been very interested to see what happens with Ocon. So he's such a good prospect going forward, and if Mercedes couldn't find him a seat for this year, they risk losing him, and anyone could pick him up. Red Bull would absolutely love to pick up someone like Ocon. So I always felt that would be quite an important thing, and it sounds like from some rumours that are around on social media at the moment, it sounds like Esteban Ocon's very close or has agreed a deal with Renault, which would make sense. French driver, French manufacturer, he would be a natural fit at that team. If it's a loan deal, it means Mercedes still have him on their books and they can still keep Bottas with Hamilton, which is really a partnership that's very harmonious. Hamilton really thrives in that environment. He had a really bad time when he was with Nico Rosberg. It was very tense, very bitter atmosphere, and Bottas maybe hasn't been as competitive as Rosberg, but there's not been any issues between the two of them.
They complement each other.
Exactly, and I think Toto Wolff is so mindful of that as Mercedes boss. He's wanted to keep that together. He could have signed Fernando Alonso, for example, instead of Bottas when that decision came about. And the reason he picked Bottas was because of the stability Bottas brings. He doesn't really shake the boat up. So I think that really is, in the end, seems to be the way that's going to fall. And that obviously then affects everything lower down if Ocon ends up at Renault as well.
And speaking of Ocon ending up at Renault, I know a couple of the media in France have already started photoshopping his face, on the outfit already. So it looks like it seems to be set in stone. So if that does indeed happen, where does that leave the Hulk?
Yeah, he would be the biggest loser from that in the sense that when he went to Renault, he went really to get on the ground floor of a team that really wants to challenge for championships in a few years. And they're not going to get rid of Daniel Ricciardo. They spent a lot of money to get him. I'm not sure where he'd end up. Everyone talked about him maybe going to Haas. That would put him probably with Kevin Magnussen. I don't see them retaining Roman Grosjean. But Magnussen and...
There's been troubles there.
Yeah, well, but Magnussen and Hulkenberg probably had one of the most infamous interactions. You can YouTube it. I'm not going to say what they said to each other. So I'm not sure whether Haas would fancy that, because Haas was one place that was rumoured to go for Ocon as well. So if Ocon wasn't available, interested to see where he went. And you can't really see another place for Hulkenberg to go. So I wonder if he'll end up leaving F1, which would be a shame. There's always been a lot of hype around him, but he has that record for most race starts without a podium, which is pretty bad. And he's never really seized the chance to end that run. Beyond that, there could be a lot of moves. There's a lot of interest in the Racing Point seat. I think George Russell will probably stay at Williams. His teammate will probably change. I don't think Robert Kubica will stay at Williams. Latifi, who's currently driving in Formula 2, will probably step up there. So a lot of little movement, a lot of little changes. But yeah, I think Bottas, Ocon will be the two main bits of news that we're talking about. And then it all depends on what Red Bull decide to do at the end of this experiment with Albon and Gasly. But we won't know that until the end of the year. So pretty busy. But I'm not going to make any outright predictions anymore. I've stopped doing that. But that's kind of where we're at the moment.
That's where we're at indeed. Thanks so much, as always, to Nate Saunders. So we're expecting quite a bit of movements. According to him, we'll see exactly once they do get confirmed.